Hello everyone and welcome to the AOR PC GT3 Elite League. This is round 4 at Silverstone and it's been quite a while since I posted these videos. We've just finished round 6, so a couple of rounds ahead, so we'll get quite a few of those out this week and start next week. But we're at Silverstone, and if you haven't watched this live, it's a good race. But as you see, as we cross the line, we initially get pole position, still driving and cheering at the same time. And look how close the gaps are there, really. But Jardier managed to just beat me there right at the very end. Now, if I had timed it properly with my fuel, I probably could have got another lap and actually beaten that, because for my little practice I did, I was in the 159s. So I didn't get the best out of the car at all there. Remember, I run default setup. I've changed the radiator, the brake ducts, and I've changed the engine map in there. The only things I've changed as we get ready for the race. So I'm surrounded by Ferraris yet again, which have been nerfed recently. So after round 6, they've been nerfed. So it'll be interesting to see what happens here. However, we've got to try and compete with them here at Silverstone. I think Silverstone's probably more an Audi track if I had a decent setup. But even so, as we get ready for the race, obviously the leader dictates when we go, so we wait for Jardier to go. We hear him go, we accelerate. Look at the Ferrari's acceleration, honestly. So we go 3 wide into the first corner, and we get tagged. We try and catch, can't catch it. Hit Leon, who was on the outside, because I had nowhere to go. And we've got 6 damage on the front here, and we're going to have to try and join the track with no way of looking to the sides. We're using arrows only. We come back on the track, all very well and good. Leave room on the sort of inside there. I know there's a car on my outside. I just saw that quickly. I know I'm round now because of the arrows, which are all green, which is nice and lovely. I really should have come across, but I didn't. And then we get a load of understeer because of the damage and cold tyres and everything else. And then we just see Mr. Van Omen just waiting there, but I can't really wait because I'm in the middle of the field. So, yes, we are now racing. There's an accident in front of us between Tejpek and I have no idea who that was. Who's dropping down really far? That might have been... No, I don't know. I thought that might be my teammate then, but I'm not too sure. Even so, we're in... what position are we in now? Ninth position. And we've got a lot of work to do now to catch up, because I thought this race I had a chance of beating Jardier here. The car felt really good. As you know, I do limited practice because I'm running default setup. As you see, the car getting all sorts of oversteer. Basically, I'm trying to get used to this damage now. I'm going to have to change my lines, my braking zones, my driving style. But the car here felt good in practice, even though it's default setup. So as you know, with GT Academy, I've raced Silverstone so many times. It's one of my very strong tracks. I can race here all the time and be quick in anything, really. As you just see, another Audi there making a mistake, Gronstra. So I was a bit gutted in that essence as well, because 3 wide into the first corner never works at Silverstone. So I was surprised all the guys went for that. Perhaps Mr. Van Omen didn't see Leon and all that lot, but even so, the ACR team lost 2 drivers. Unfortunately, I came out ahead of both of those in the end. Mr. Van Omen did wait, of course, so it's fair enough, and he did apologise after as well, because when I looked at it after, it's just he literally went in slightly too fast. It was only slight, missed the apex by just a few metres, but obviously that was enough because we're 3 wide, just to him to tag me, which then, obviously when the car wiggles and I've got no room to move, I then clip Leon, and then obviously the crash ensues. That crash is going to, with the TV version of it, will be in the crash video, which is coming. Don't you worry, it is coming. It's, let me just check my spreadsheet actually, because I've got a spreadsheet of videos. It is coming on, actually, in a week and a day. I think it's going to be on the Monday. Otherwise, it'll be late next week. But we're in 9th position. So getting back to this race, 9th position, we've got 8th place in front of us in Gronstra. We've got a few of the cars up front that we can see fighting. We've got Rick, we've got Vernux, we've got Zal in there. And my goal all the time is obviously to be the highest non-Ferrari car at this point, because the Ferrari is still the most powerful car, or the best car in terms of balance of performance. At low altitudes, it's fairly equal with the Audi potentially having the advantage in some situations, like Dubai. I mean, if I had a setup at Dubai, I probably would have won that race, but of course I'm racing default. But in the lights of Red Bull Ring, as you saw last time, the Ferrari is miles ahead. It's just ridiculously crazy fast. But obviously, as I say, that's been changed in a recent patch. we're getting closer to Granstra now, and looking into this part of the circuit, this is where I'm always very fast. You just see he makes a slight mistake there. I see that straight away, so that's why I back out of it. I'm slightly worried where he's going at this point. If you look on the TV camera, it gets very close. He comes on, gives room for the players on the other side as we merge the clips, go a bit later on. So we're up to 8th place now, and we're looking to try and catch Zal, and whoever is in front of Zal, which is Rick. We've been pushing quite a while, and Mark Bowensi behind me has been pushing really hard. He's actually caught me up. Now, part of that obviously is because I've got damage, but part of it is he is racing really, really well. So fair play to Bowensi here, and he's been catching me up. So you just see Rick make a mistake up front, so watch this for one of the most opportunistic moves I've done in quite a while. So they're going to go side by side through his right-hander, which I know is very scary. So they give each other room. I think, hello, I'll have this. I'm going to come up on your left there, Rick, thank you. And I was going to go for the move on the right, but I couldn't see Rick. I literally couldn't see him, but he backs out of it anyway, so, you know, that's very kind of Rick. Didn't have to. I was going to give him room, but the minute I saw him back out, I can then take the corner. That's normal. So we've gone up to 7th position now, and we've got Zal in front of us. But I know the Ferrari is quick here, so I anticipate that Zal is probably going to, you know, get further and further ahead of me. And I'm really trying to get away from Bowensi, because Bowensi is quick here, and I don't want him catching me up. So the more that Rick can hold him back, further I can get away. It takes him longer to get there. As we merge a bit further ahead, Zal's got past Vernux now, and Vernux is struggling in this race, so I've managed to catch up to Vernux as well. Mark Bowensi got past Rick. He's actually caught me up again, so that's under a second. I just take Luffield here slightly wrong, but we get it right again as we accelerate out. So now we're going to have to think where we can take Vernux. Obviously we can't do hanger straight because we're racing default setup, so our front wing is 2 and our rear is 6, I believe. And that means I obviously can't get as much speed out as some of these guys, because I know some of them are running a lot less. But you just see Vernux make a mistake at Cops. Down the right hand side I go. Not sure if Vernux flashed there to let me go actually, once he knew he made a mistake, but all the same, there we go. A little flash there from Vernux. It's always good racing Vernux. Very clean race, fair race. So you've seen that in loads of my videos of Project Cars. And through we are now into 6th position. Now I'm hoping Vernux defends off Bowensi so I can leg it again as fast as I can. We've got 40 minutes to try and hold on to this position. Can we do it? That is the question. We keep pushing. You just see in the TV camera now, Bowensi going for the move on the outside at Stowe. Is Vernux going to defend it? Look at the rear view at the moment, then back to the TV camera. You can just see he's defended it for now, but Bowensi's all over the back of Vernux as we come into this corner. This is the one corner I've spun out in real life, in a GTR, believe it or not, which I always say is quite an achievement to spin a GTR, because if you've ever driven one, you know the computers are like magicians and they can keep you going straight and true. So we advance a bit further on now, and Bowensi's got past Vernux. You can see Bowensi's right on my tail again. Murphy didn't get caught up there. He's actually made a mistake. I think it was coming on to hanger straight, pushing very well in that Janetta. So that's fair play to Murphy there, and we've got Bowensi all over us. Look at him, we're very, very close. And we've raced Bowensi obviously in the ESL. You see, I get a slowdown there. Fortunately, that disappears, so I don't have to take it. Woo! But we've raced Bowensi in the ESL, so we know he's a clean racer. We've had some good races with Bowensi. So I know he's going to try and go for a decent move somewhere, because he's been constantly catching me and he's very, very quick. And that Lamborghini is very quick. Obviously it's the same engine that's in my R8, but I've got a bit of damage, so I'm obviously going to be slower than normal. And I think I've actually got additional tyre wear because I've had to change my driving style a little bit. The front of the car doesn't turn as well, obviously, because I've got front damage of 6. We've actually got quite a lot of engine damage of 6 as well. And that's actually a talking point, actually, engine damage. Because the NA car's power band is basically the top end of the horsepower at the end, you've got to rev the car to the limit to get the most out of it. But you get more engine damage by doing that. So that's another NA disadvantage, which is really annoying actually, because obviously turbo cars, as you saw at the start, it doesn't matter where they are in the rev range, especially the 488 because it's twin turboed. Pew, straight out. It'll have a low end turbo and it'll have a high end turbo, so it literally pushes all the way through the rev range. As you see now, Bowensi's got a lot of speed on me here. Look at this. And this is a great attempt at a move here. Down into Stowe to try and go around the outside. I give him plenty of room. Obviously, I'm struggling with turning anyway, so I've got to go a bit slower than normal. On my left now is Bowensi into Vale, and he just gets it. Look at that. What a good move that was. So real fair play to Bowensi. That's a cracking move. And we don't obviously want to lose too much time because obviously there's cars behind, and potentially Boenzi can push us towards Murphy and Zal with slipstream and everything else. See, the slipstream can help us, and there's a big battle going on behind as well with Vernux, my teammate Nestorich. It's a bit weird that because obviously they're both 5 aces, but me and Nestorich are teammates in GT aces, and we got Leon, who obviously was in that first lap incident. So we're keeping up with Boenzi at the moment, which is what we want. Hopefully can help us push towards Zal and Murphy. So when I race in this sort of scenario, I'm looking for net gain rather than initial gain. So obviously I'll lose a position, but the potential is I could gain 2. So, you know, it's actually a profit by letting somebody go who can help you get further up the grid. So always try and race smart. As we come into here though, but once he loses the rear of the car, I don't know where he's going, so I've got to slam on, like the anchors go full on there to try and avoid him. Just loses the rear. That's a very hard corner. Obviously you're carrying a lot of speed. There's some bumps in there which will unsettle the car. Yeah, he lost it. So he advanced a lot further in the race now, and Boenzi actually did catch me up again, but he DC'd. Which was really unfortunate because he was having an absolute cracking race. However, Nestorich is behind me now, so Vernux has lost out to both him and Leon. Vernux down to 9th position, and you know, he's struggled this race in that BMW. We're obviously not going to be the fastest non-Ferrari either because Murphy's up ahead still in 4th position, and he's actually pulled a gap to Zal and actually really attacking Iceman, I believe. In fact, you can see that bottom right corner, they're very close. But I've actually been catching Zal lap over lap, and I've been getting slightly quicker. Now at this point in the race I should be well in the 201s here, if not the 2.0s, which is really, really frustrating, but it's the damage. So the damage has caused issues with tyres, obviously my turning. Potentially I probably should have had slightly lower brake ducts because they're only on 300 and I think they should be on 400. But even so, Nestorich is catching me up, so at this point I know I'm going to let him pass, because if I'm catching Zal, chances are Nestorich can catch him much, much quicker. You see the car getting a bit pretty unstable. So I'm thinking more of the team here. If Nestorich catches Zal, he could gain another position. Yes, I'll lose out on a couple of points, but I'm only here for the fun, really. I'm racing default setup. So here is the best place, really, I think, to let the position go. I'm not going to lose that much speed, and neither is he. So I just let off, let him go, and then I can come in right behind him. No real time lost there. So we hope that Nestorich can actually catch up to Zal. So does he catch him up? This is the question, because he could also help us catch him up as well, a bit like what we were going to do with Boenzi. So does it happen? Does it happen? Da, da, da. No, it doesn't. Unfortunately, Zal obviously found another gear and managed to keep that gap to Nestorich. So I'm going to stay in this position, of course. Leon is behind me as well. We're just going to look at the race while we do this final lap. So you just see Murphy is in 3rd position, has a +1 second penalty. I can't remember what happens with that, so let's find out at the end of the race. Popsu says he's got a drive-through, but doesn't have a drive-through, so don't worry about that. I'm not sure why that even happened, actually. It didn't even come up on the commentator's view, so it's a bit weird. But everyone said just keep racing Popsu, so that's fine. But yeah, it's a bit unfortunate with that first corner. As I say, Mr. Van Omen just overshot it. It's the tiniest margins, and when you're 3 wide, the tiniest margins, you see it in IndyCar, NASCAR. You're 3 wide, the tiniest margin of error is there. That happens, there's going to be a crash. There was a crash. In the end, we benefited anyway because we're still ahead of ACR, like Leon and Mr. Van Omen. Unfortunately, I feel like we could have got 2nd or even the win, but we didn't, unfortunately. But even so, we've had a good race all the same. We've had some battles that we potentially might not have had. We could have had an epic long race with battle with Jardier, who knows, but he did put in some solid laps to Jardier. It was 2:08, I think he got as well. And as you see, we kept up with Nestorich, which is nice. So he has helped us through to a finish. And you can see he was catching Zal slowly but surely. So we come across the line, and at least we get 7th position. After a first lap incident like that, where we were literally off the track, where everyone's doing donuts, you know, it's fair enough at the end of the day. And also Mr. Van Omen apologise. So as you see, we come 7th there. You can see the fastest lap, so 2:08, as I say, for Jardier, so that's really nice. But I'm pretty sure we would have been down in that sort of area myself, based on the practice. I hope you enjoyed that video all the same. The playlist there is if you want to watch another AOR race. My logo's there if you want to subscribe. But that's it for now. Thanks very much for watching. I will see you in the next video.